Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of making an awesome prop shield using smooth-on materials. We're going to get into casting for the prop shield, so here we go. Now for our casting resin, we're going to use Epoxy Cast 690. This is part A, and this is part B. Epoxy Cast 690 is optically clear material, and we're going to use that for the centerpiece of our shield. Now, Epoxy Cast has a by weight mix ratio. It is 100 of A to 30 of B by weight. So we're going to tear out our mixing container, give our part A a thorough shaking to pre-mix the part A. Very, very important to do that whenever you're working material. Make sure you pre-mix. Now we're going to dispense part A. Now for part B, again, we're going to tear out our mixing cup, give part B a thorough mix by shaking the container, and we'll dispense our part B. Now we're going to go ahead and add part B to part A, and again, once the two components touch, the pot light is ticking. For this material, we're going to add our So Strong colorant. So Strong is a colorant that you can use to create translucent color effects. So it only takes a few drops of material to fully color the material. We're going to give it a good mix. And we're going to again double mix and pour to ensure a thorough mix of material. And remember to scrape the sides and the bottom as you mix the material. Now we're going to pour into our mold rubber, and we're going to basically create the translucent center core of our shield using this epoxy resin material. Epoxy Cast 690 is optically clear, is also UV resistant. I'm going to use a butane torch to disperse the bubbles off the resin surface and allow the material to cure for 24 hours. Now I'm going to use some sulfur-free clay to create a temporary border around the perimeter of our resin casting. This will prevent any of the next resin material from mixing into the center core. I'm going to take some baby powder, and I'm going to use this baby powder as a way of dispersing the surface tension of the rubber by brushing it into the mold. This will do two things. Not only does it disperse the surface tension of the rubber, thereby minimizing bubbles in my casting, it would also give me a nice matte finish on my resin casting. It's important when you do this that you don't want to have a lot of buildup of baby powder in the mold. So I'm going to take some air, I'm going to blow out the excess baby powder and get it ready for casting. For our casting resin, we're going to use Smooth Cast Onyx Fast. This is part A, and this is part B. As with all other materials, we want to thoroughly pre-mix these materials. So we're going to start with part A, giving it a good shake to pre-mix part A, and doing the same for part B. Now, Smooth Cast Onyx Fast is a deep black resin material. It's got about a 2.5 minute pot life, so we're only going to dispense a small amount of material at a time to create a face coat of resin material in our rubber mold. Now I chose black because black would provide us a good base color with which we could work with for painting the shield once we're done. So here I'm brushing in the resin material across the surface of the mold rubber to create the face coat. I'm going to apply about 2 coats of onyx into our mold rubber to create the face coat for the shield. And here is the face coat applied to our shield, and I'm going to let that cure. Now for the body of the shield, we're going to use again freeform air. This time we're going to use it to fill in the interior of our shield. The freeform air will give us the body that we need for the rest of our shield prop without adding significant weight to our prop. At this point, I'm also going to remove the clay barrier I set up to prevent the black resin from interacting with our epoxy cast 690 clear center. I'm going to continue mixing and applying freeform air as necessary in order to fill the entire cavity of the shield, taking care not to impinge upon the center. We want to keep the center clear so that remains translucent. The freeform air does bond to itself very, very nicely, and it's just a matter of packing in material. At this point, we're going to also create the holders for our handles that are going to be used inside the shield, and we're going to sculpt that using freeform air. This wooden dowel I'm going to use as our handle, and I'm going to basically embed that into the freeform air and sculpt it into place. And here is our completed handle. We're going to let that cure. Now for this next part, I created this brace for the shield. It's basically a rubber strip that's screwed into a piece of plywood, and this is used as the brace for the arm when carrying the shield. Now I'm going to take a marker and I'm just going to mark the position of the handle within the interior of the shield so that I'll know where to mount the handle within the prop design. Once I've got that marked off, I'm going to now take some freeform air, and now I'm going to use it as a bonding agent. In this case, I'm going to use it as an adhesive to bond the handle to the interior of the shield. I'm going to take a little bit of water to help promote adhesion to the epoxy surface, and I'm going to pat this right into position, basically putting an adhesive wedge right in place so that I can mount this handle in position. I'm going to take some additional freeform air and I'm going to basically secure the handle into place. And here is the handle now in position and sculpted in the inside of the shield. And now I'm going to let that cure. Now we're going to demold our mold rubber from the shell. The shell out of the way here, and I'm going to now prepare to remove the casting from the mold rubber. Again, you want to take your time when you're doing this and allow the rubber to release off the surface. And here you go. Here's our rough casting from our mold. And now it's ready for priming and painting. And here is your finished shield. Pretty cool.